Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to part 40 of the GTO Trainer. First hand here, under the gun opens. We're on the button with the 9 to 5. Going to be the easy snap fold with some offsuit garbage. Next hand here, we open under the gun with Ace King of Hearts. Under the gun plus 2, 3-bet, so that's going to be not only is an extremely tight range because it's under the gun plus 2, but then it's going to be an extremely tight range given that they're 3-betting an already strong under the gun range. So this is going to be a very standard 4-bet here. Very comfortable with just going all in. If they put in the 5-bet, we're going to jam without any concern. They call. So very easy play there, essentially. If this was Ace King off, I believe we would have been folding. Yeah, so we would have been folding at a very large frequency. Hang on, let's have a look. So if we go back here, does this change? Yeah, okay, that's cool. So as you can see here, so we're still 3-betting with the Ace King offsuit. Still want to be trying to still good enough to be going for value there. There's still worse that can call from the under the gun plus 2 range, as you can see here. Still very, very tight on the right hand side, but there's still some hands that could be continuing that we are doing well up against, even with Ace King offsuit. But after they put in the 4-bet, the 5-bet, it's a very easy face up, as if we are going all in with Ace Jack suited. That seems like a weird one. Yeah, Ace 5 suited, that's a classic. Ace 4, even a little bit of frequency, that's also a very classic. But yeah, Ace King, always all in. Sometimes with Ace King off, we're mixing in some calls here, only all in about 5% of the time. Then Aces, mixing a little bit of call in there as well. And then Kings as well, mixing in between call and all in, just because as you can see on the right hand side, even Kings aren't playing. I know Kings are playing very well, but pretty much all these ace hands still have like about 30% equity against them. So still a lot of equity. And then we're calling with implied hands. So yeah, 9s, 10s, jacks, queens that are very much know that they're very much behind, or at least like at best case scenario 70-30 ahead. Or even 50-50 on some occasions, but mostly just kind of going, well, it's all below queens, you're just going to go broke against aces and kings, or if we hit our queen, we can win a really big pop. But yeah, pretty easy play there, pretty simple poker. Moving on to the next hand, low jack opens. We've got some offsuit garbage. Nice, easy snap fold. Moving on to the next hand, under gun plus 2 opens. We're in the hijack with some offsuit garbage. Very easy snap fold. Next hand here, so if we go all the way back here, so cutoff. So we open in the cutoff. So second widest range, folds all the way around to the big blind, who comes in with the 3-bet. So this is going to be a very strong 3-bet from the big blind, given that they are out of position. It's not going to be as strong as if they were 3-betting an early position raise or a middle position raise. So it's going to be a little bit wider, given that it's a late position open from us in the cutoff. But it's still going to be a very tight, mostly because they're incentivized to complete a lot of times, given that they've already isolated heads up out of position situation, so they don't need to get anyone out of the pot. They're already heads up, and they don't want to be overplaying their hand. They also don't want to be playing a big pot heads up out of position. So yeah, it's going to be a very strong range, well, decently strong range, given that it's versus a late position open. Therefore, we can kind of open a little bit wider. It's still a very correction. We can 3-bet. 4-bet a little bit wider, given that the big blinds are 3-betting here a little bit wider because we're in the cutoff. So we can 4-bet a little bit wider. So we do choose to mix in the 4-bet here. kind of almost a 4-bet bluff essentially. This is kind of real bottom of range is what I believe. If we have a look, so ace jack, yeah, so bottom of range pretty much, real outskirts. So yeah, we're doing jacks as well. No, king jacks also bottom of range. Queen, king queen off as well. Ace queen off, and then we're kind of calling with our suited cards because I'm guessing we just got a little bit more post flop playability. You can see on the left hand side what we're looking at in terms of the big blind's 3-bet range there. So it's going to have to be a stronger range from us in the cutoff, therefore. So yeah, we decided to mix in and do the 4-bet. They come over the top with the 5-bet jam, and there's a very easy fold from us. We're not beating any of their value. So yeah, we're not beating any of their value. We're behind a lot. Very interesting with pocket fours, but fair enough. So yeah, very easy snap fold. As we can see here, we're pretty much only calling with... so the reason we're able to mix in, put in the ace king off here is given that it's a they're 5-betting a late position open. So late position, they're going to be a little bit wider, therefore we can call a little bit wider. If this was under the gun, therefore their 3-bet would be stronger, their 5-bet would be stronger, therefore we can only be calling with stronger to reflect that how we're playing up against that. So that's why we're really calling with so we're able to, you know, call with 10s, for example, call with jack, call with queens. We're able to call a little bit wider as a result of this being from a late position, well, against a late position. Like I said, we were they're doing this versus a late position, so they can be wider, therefore we can be wider as well. Next hand here, some offsuit garbage, pretty standard snap fold. No real need to break it down, very self-explanatory. Next hand here, button opens. We're on the small blind with 10-9 of diamonds. I can understand a call here, but I believe a call would bring along the big blind, given that there would be $6 in the pot, and they only need to contribute about 1.5. And we can also be 3-betting a little bit wider, given that the button's going to be very, very wide here, so I like a 3-bet. Try to isolate a little bit of what the button has, make sure the big blind doesn't come along, but then we face a 4-bet. So on the button 4-bets here, it's going to be decently strong, given that, you know, the small blind, us and the small blind are going to be 3-betting strong here. What's it called? So yeah, we're going to be 3-betting decently strong here, considering that, what is it? We're going to be out of position. So we're going to be out of position. We want to be avoiding playing a big pot heads up out of position. This might be a little bit on the overplaying your hand side. My main theory behind it is that I want to be able to get the big blind out of here so that they don't just come along. As especially in live poker, they would come along in pretty much all situations, given that fantastic pot odds. Like they only need to contribute 1.5 to win 6. So that'll be extremely good pot odds of pretty much any 2 cards, majority. But when they come in with the 4-bet here, it's going to be decently strong, considering that we're going to be decently strong here because we're putting in money out of position. Not as strong, given that we do need to be squeezing a little bit here to try. Well, we do need to be isolating a little bit here. But it is, and it also is up against the button, so the 3-bet doesn't have to be as strong because the button isn't as strong in terms of their opening range. I could definitely hear a call here, got a little bit of post-flop playability, but we're not really going to be able to realize that, as we only really have SBR of about 1.5 because it's going to be 52 in the pot, leaving only about just over 1.5 pot behind. So it's kind of just hit your card or fold pretty much. So I'm going to lean towards a fold here. So yeah, so it's a little bit of a mix between the 3-bet and the fold. Definitely makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, okay, so they're saying call. Like, the main reason I'm against the call mostly is just because we're not going to have enough behind to really be able to realize our equity. We're kind of going to have to, you know, almost be prepared to go all in, essentially, is what we're doing here. Like, we're only leaving a SPR of about 1.5. Pretty much, if we hit any pair, we're almost incentivized to go all in a lot of the time here. And with hands like this 10-9, we would much rather have a little bit more of an SPR so that we can try to realize the equity, have a little bit more playability with it. And that's when these hands play the best. I guess that's kind of why we're mostly calling here. Oh no, we're folding. Ah, okay. Well, that's interesting. Oh, so we're playing a 3-bet or fold strategy against the button. Okay. Well, yeah, that does make sense, considering that we don't want to be allowing the big blind behind. That's probably why we don't have a calling range at all. As you can see here, no calling range at all. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, so but yeah, so I can understand the fold in terms of that. You know, we do open ourselves up for that 4-bet, and we kind of have to snap fold that just because of the SPR. However, I think the button's range here is just way too wide that we'd like to isolate it down a little bit. But yeah, we're not calling, but I reckon like the well, the 10-9, it has a lot of like good playability, but maybe they're thinking also the button could be out kicking you in a lot of cases. The button could have some better 10x, better 9x, pocket 9s, pocket 10s. And then you also add a position, so you don't really want to overplay your hand, which is what this raise sometimes kind of does. It also opens up the door to just kind of sending 12 bigs down the drain. So yeah, that does kind of make a lot of sense to me. But you know, if they call there, then we're doing pretty well, even if we are out of position. But we do have a hand that can, you know, win a really big pot, depending on the run out, and the implied odds there could possibly make up for, you know, being out of position, maybe any equity deficiency. Next hand here, under the gun +1 opens, we're in the under the gun +2, pretty easy snap fold. Next hand, got some offsuit garbage, nice easy snap fold versus a hijack open. Last hand, hijack opens, we're on the cutoff with ace-10 offsuit. This is going to be an easy snap fold. Outkicked in a lot of situations. One of those hands that's kind of marginal could lead us to overplaying our hand and ending up losing a really, really big pot, even if we are in position. However, we can't be calling, as that will allow either the button or the big blind to come along. So it's a very 3-bet or fold strategy, and ace-10 could get us into more trouble than it's worth. And it's also one of those like polarizing marginal hands. So 10 hands, 12 moves, 96% GTO score. The 2 correct moves coming from that 10-9 hand. No, coming from the 10-9 hand and then the ace-jack hand. Is it? No, the 10-jack hand was good. That raise wasn't us. What was it? Yeah, so it was this one. Yeah, so both of them was from the 10-9. It was raise. The 3-bet in itself was about a 70-30, and then the fold about a 50-50 or 40-60. So hope you guys learned something. Take care, have a good one, and as always, play well.